And we're back. Howdy y'all, this is Ethan Bondreal playing Oracle of Ages, and last time we were here, we started the Ancient Tome and got the Power Glove after completing that puzzle from the room we were just in, and this time around we're gonna actually get to use the Power Glove, because this is a Zelda game, right? And when you get a new item in a Zelda game, you just wail around that new item until you can solve a puzzle to get to a new area. And if you couldn't tell from all those statues outside, those are actually what we can pick up with the Power Glove. For the most part, that's all you're going to be picking up with it. There isn't a diverse amount of things to pick up. But in any case, so we're flipping this switch here. And in these 2D games where they have these platforms that raise up and down based off of a switch, as a general rule, if you have the option of getting back on top of the platforms you raise up while flipping the switch, I always recommend to do that, because if you can get on top of them, what you usually can do is check to see if you basically skip over stuff. There we go, that's a short way of saying what I was just thinking. You can skip over stuff and not have to re-flip the switch later. And in this case, it was actually mandatory to do that. In Oracle of Seasons, it was never mandatory to do that, and I don't think it was mandatory in Link's Awakening. Usually it's just a handy shortcut, but in this case we had to. Anyway, we're actually about to come up on the mini-boss here. So, let's fight him. I don't know what its name is. I think it's the Grim Reaper or some shit. I actually have a little bit of trouble at the start of this fight, because I have the level 2 power ring equipped, which basically makes me take double damage, but I also deal double damage with sword strikes. So I'm actually going to die a lot in this video, and if you can't tell, this is actually post-commentary. But anyway, easy enough though, because he only takes 1 or 2 rounds of whacking him with your sword to beat him. But yeah, after we beat this butthead, we're gonna go ahead and vlog a little bit. And if you couldn't tell, again, this is post commentary because I had to re-record this video several few hundred times because of all the times I died. But anyway, how are y'all doing? I'm doing okay. I have work today at 10 a.m. It's currently 12 a.m. When I'm recording this. And what I hope to do is get this video out before I go to bed, and then just link it in the places I usually link it when I wake up in the morning. And in addition to that, have a not boring ass video, because I feel like my commentary when I tried to record this before was really boring. That's always something I struggle with, deciding if I'm interesting or engaging or not. But such is the nature of these things. It's really kind of rough recording LPs regularly, because I can see how some people can be real corny. Because quite frankly, that's something that really irritates me in a lot of LPs, is when people are really fucking corny, or tell jokes non-stop, rapid fire. In part just because I guess I just like a more relaxed scenario, but I can see why people do it, because it's really hard to tell if people are into this sort of thing. Really, when I listen to LPs, what I really like is just hearing someone that I'm kind of comfortable with, I guess, or whatever. Or someone who's, oh, nope, see ya. Alright, so we need to equip the Rock's Feather and the Pegasus Seed so we can jump over that. And see ya, nerd. Nope. There we go, okay. So now we got one more round here. And there we go, we got it. So we got a key. We can unlock doors in this dungeon. But yeah, it's hard to be engaging, and I think it's hard to find a balance too between talking about the game and talking about other things. Which I've noticed I kind of prefer LPers who talk. You got the slate. LPers who talk, about their personal lives too, instead of just the game, or trying to make the game more interesting, because that's kind of annoying to me. I know if I like the game or not. There's a reason why I'm watching it. But that's not necessarily for everyone. I think I hear my mom getting up. She was off today, so she's up a little bit later than she normally is. Anyway, so with that slate we just got, we actually need to insert it into this room that we're going to come up into that has 4 slots that we can shove things in. There we go. Let's just pop this in here. There we go. Alright, and that's going to cause the candles to light up, or not candles, the torches. And once we light up all 4, or I guess it's 8 of them, because it's 2 sets, or there are pairs for every set. But once we light up all of the torches, we are going to unlock the boss room, or the way to the boss room. So anyway, let's do this real quick. And if you can't tell by looking at the map too, because I kind of flashed it on the screen a few times, there are 4 corners, and each of the corners of this this floor has a different slate in it, which we will use to open up the way to the boss. Again, I think this dungeon was a lot easier than Jabu Jabu's Belly, but whatever. But I guess I should get to what I guess the stuff that I prefer to talk about, lol. Stuff that's going on in my life and stuff that I've noticed. Oh hey, I just noticed too my cursor's on the screen, and we got another slate. There we go. Basically, what I wanted to talk about, and I have no way to segue into, is basically something I've kind of noticed with, like, I guess the younger kids now. And I guess maybe it's a generational gap or some shit. Although it's not even really that big of a gap, considering it's only been, they're usually only like 3 or 4 years younger than me. But I've noticed a lot of, like, younger gay and bi men, like, being not necessarily more sassy, but, like, kind of more aggressive with people. Not necessarily with their sexuality, but, like, talking shit about people. And I mean, this could be just me noticing them doing it differently and then, like, reacting to it, because I'm a ancient queen, but I just noticed this, because you know what I think I kind of started thinking this actually, like, my freshman year in college, lol. But, like, every queen and her mom thinks that she's a bad bitch right now. Like, they like talking about all the dads they fucked, you know, all that cute shit or whatever. And, like, actually, that's not even really that different from how it's been since I've been in high school. I think I'm just kind of hyperbolizing it, because it's something that I'm having trouble articulating, but, like, even 4 years ago, all the queens thought they were fierce, and then later on, they thought they were bad bitches. And now this year they think they're shady or some shit. When really, all along, they've just kind of been, like, kind of imagining lives they don't really have. Like, when I see these people, like, talking on Twitter or, like, Tumblr, or, like, even seeing their Grindr profiles, I'm like, what the fuck, you're, like, 16, chill out, kid. Like, you need to relax. Like, and I don't necessarily... At the same time, when I think about that, I was kind of like that when I was younger, too. And I think maybe I'm kind of shortchanging these folks. But at the same time, I do think sometimes people kind of puff their chests out and wrap their feather boas kind of extra tight to impress upon people. And I've actually noticed that too, because one of the first friends I made when I was in college was like, he didn't really like interacting with other gay men, because he was like, there's only room. I think his exact words were, there was only room for one diva in my friend group, and that's me. And I was like, well, that's really funny. Because I had noticed that in high school too. And I guess I'm kind of not being that coherent. Basically, kind of what I'm getting at is, like, being, like, really, like, putting on a show for people. I feel like a lot of gay and bi men, especially younger gay and bi men, feel the need to put a show on for people constantly of, like, showing how fierce or how bad they are, but in reality, like, it's not that I don't think fierceness or being a bad bitch is a thing at all. It's just that, like, you are, like, in the case I'm kind of thinking about, like, you are a 16-year-old suburban twink. Like, you are not a bad bitch. You are, again, just a 16-year-old suburban twink. Like, you don't... You are projecting, like, your icons onto yourself. Like, you're trying to be something you are, in the very least, aren't yet. I guess maybe bad bitch aspirant could be, like, a correct term or whatever. But, whatever. It's just kinda something neat to know, like, and I've noticed that a lot of, like, when someone's, like, the only gay person in, like, their friend group of straight people, they really do not know how to act when they're, like, in a group of other gay men. I've noticed that, like, a lot. Oh god, I'm about to die, that's embarrassing. Oh well, luckily, I'm gonna cut the video real quick here, and that's actually gonna get rid of the cursor. Actually, no, I didn't cut the video yet, what the hell. I know the cursor's gonna eventually disappear, because I'm gonna recognize that it's on the screen, but I don't know when. But anyway, we got another slate to get, and we need to turn this slate in, and I'm gonna clear this room out of the whiz robes so that I can keep going on with my life here. But, yeah, just the kids gotta put on a show, and I've noticed that they don't really know how to interact with people without putting on that show, even when they aren't necessarily needing to, right? And I'm not saying, like, they're showing out or anything, or, like, that they're, like, I guess liars, or that anyone who thinks that, who has, like, a bit of an attitude or a bit of sass in them is, like, pretending. But, again, like, if you're a suburban 16-year-old twink or some shit, like, you probably are not, like, as bad as you think. Because just every queen with, like, every queen with Beyonce on her MP3 player thinks she's hot shit, but really, like, that's just not the case. There are things that you gotta experience first. And I think that so many of us use the drama that, like, we invite into our lives as, like, proof of our greatness, when really, like, I think that it's kind of a crutch, TBH. And it's kind of a way that, oh hey, I died again. Those things that I am fighting, those candle things, actually hit really hard. And I really had trouble figuring out what the heck to do against them, because they just kept repeatedly killing me. And that's actually part of the reason why I'm doing post-commentary, because I fucked up my recording by forgetting I was recording several times. But actually, I didn't even have to go in that room, because I already completed it once. But off-screen, I had died a couple times. And what I actually needed to do was go the other way that I just went, and flip that switch. What you can do in this room is either use your shield, or alternatively, you can use your sword to get rid of these tiles that fly towards you. But going back to what I was talking about, I do think there are exceptions. Like, some people, like, legitimately are pretty hard. Like, there's some pretty hard people in this world. There's some pretty hard queens. And you can be like 16 or even 12 and experience a lot of shit. I know I did, but I just think that some people are maybe, like, kind of romanticizing being a bit dramatic for the sake of self-stimulation, or, like, to give themselves an identity, when really you don't necessarily need to do that. Also, I'm gonna fucking die in this room, and it's so embarrassing. But on my second run-through, it's gonna be swaggy as fuck. Actually, I forgot. The video's gonna cut real quick, and I actually forgot to start recording when I went through this game again. Or this room again, so it's gonna jump right to the switch. What that switch did was actually open up that wall that was to the right. And I'm so mad I did not get that on camera, because I got through there flawlessly. But whatever. And I think the other thing that about that also is that, like, when you're dramatic like that, or you put on that performance, and part of that performance is like talking shit to people, like, what are you gonna do if someone like decides to throw hands or some shit at you? Like, one day you're gonna say something to a queen that's a lot bigger and stronger than you, and she is gonna like lay you out and embarrass you. Because, like, you can't just, like, play around with people like that. People are not toys. And especially men. You don't... especially men. Because they... Like, there are very few things that I am more afraid of than, like, a man who has, like, had his ego hurt. Because that is some scary shit. But, don't think that, like, if you're messing around with someone, they won't fucking hurt you just because you can be real sassy and come back with really cute remarks and shit. Like, being cute ain't gonna stop someone from knocking you upside your head if you mouth off to them, if they're mad enough. But in any case, there we go, we're gonna blow that up, and we have one last puzzle before we get to the boss door, but I will tell you, if you didn't notice, we're actually missing the boss key. I actually just opened up our map screen to show you we don't have the boss key. So I'm gonna complete this puzzle and cut the video here. Thank you for watching, I appreciate it. I feel like maybe I should talk a little bit about the game more next part, instead of just talking about stuff I want to, but I'll catch y'all later, bye.